Good afternoon. My name is Christy. I welcome you to my channel. In my last video, we discussed this question: when is it mutual? And we kind of dwelled on it very well. But before I go ahead, I'd like to talk about two words that look like they're the same thing with mutual, but they're not exactly the same. Reciprocal and retaliation. Retaliation sounds like tit for tat. You're paying somebody back in his or her own coin. Sounds unfriendly, sounds combative. And then reciprocal is equivalent exchange of whatever it is that you gave. And even that, those two words are not exactly the same thing. They do not have exactly the same meaning as the word mutual. Mutual has to do with consensual, has to do with collaboration. You're collaborative, so it's friendlier. It's so I just thought I should chip that in. They're not exactly the same. Okay. So I would say that, like we said in the previous video, I like to paint scenarios that would enable us soak in that topic very well. And I promise I'm going to make this video very short. It's a promise. I'll make it very short. I'll paint only two scenarios. One basically on friendship, and the other one is going to be on love relationship. Two scenarios. The first one quickly has to do with two friends, Iyabo and Kofu. They've been friends from childhood, way back. They've been friends and they're still friends up until now, like us, you may want to call them. They lived in the same neighborhood as kids, as infants, and then they just, from there and up until today, they're still friends, very good friends. The two of them are out of the university and lovely ladies, beautiful ladies, they're now married. Iyabo and Kufu. Iyabo is married with two children. She lives in Lekki with her family. And Kufu married also with, I think, two children too. And she lives in Surulere with her family. And of course, they are now family friends. The two ladies have brought the two families together and they are now family friends. Good family friends, you may want to describe them as. However, Iyabo would hardly attend Kofu's events, parties, get together, and all that. Even when her children are having their birthday parties, sometimes she would not send her children to attend. Awkward, you may want to say. But Kofu would always be at Iyabo's events, her parties, her birthday parties with the children. She will always be in attendance if she's in the country. Within this country, she must ensure that she's in attendance of any event Iyabo was doing. So she found that very strange that why would Iyabo not always be at her own event? She drew her attention to it. Kufu drew Iyabo's attention to that awkward situation. And Iyabo would always wave it aside. It was nothing. That place, that's your place. It's so far. Even me, I'm shocked. How can somebody say that to a friend that where she stays is far? Is it not the same distance from Lekki to Surulere? Is it not the same distance? Why would anybody say that? Anyway, this is not to promote quarrels, unforgiveness, and all. I'm just saying that this is awkward. And if Kofo is comfortable with it, well, by all means, let them go ahead and continue with the relationship as it has turned to. But my own take is that please ensure that you continue to engage in relationships, interactions that you can go along with without turning around to now begin to complain that you are being treated badly. That is where I do not agree with you. Don't turn around to say, I'm being treated badly. Do not do that. Because once you start that, you start to brew toxicity, you start to brew negativity because you tell it to somebody. You are spreading negativity, which ought not to be. If you're not comfortable any longer with this kind of relationship where your house is too far, please roll with those who will not find your house too far, too unreachable. That is my take on this. Yes, people always say that one man's food is another man's poison. But when you are eating that your poison and you're calling it food, do not now suddenly realize it's poison and then start to take it out on everybody and everything around you. Do not, please, spread toxicity within our community. That's my simple take on that. Yaba and Kufu. So let me just quickly take on the love relationship. I said I will paint a scenario. And this has to do with Yemi and Shegun. They've been dating way back and when they were in uni. Yemi and Shegun, they were an item. Lovely, you know. After 5 years into the relationship, you know, in fact, after 5 years after they left uni, I told them to start dating right from uni. 5 years after they left uni, they graduated. One of them suddenly started to show lack of interest. All effort failed woefully. They couldn't just, in fact, it was Shegun, let me just be, it was the man, Shegun, that drifted, started showing lack of interest. He was not longer interested, and every effort failed to bring the relationship, to restore the relationship. Every effort failed. Shegun went ahead and married someone else, Funke. Got married to Funke, and Yanni was just there, still trying to put things together, pick the pieces of our life together. 2 years after Shegun married another person, Funke, you will not believe that Shegun came back to Yeni and started to plead and all that and all that and all that. Eventually, Yeni caved in and started this relationship. Another, became Shegun's mistress, so to speak. I don't know. She resumed their relationship and became a mistress to Shegun. And of course, one guy would not take it like low, wahala, and everything. Would you call this mutual? Is it mutual? I'd like you to please tell me. Yeni and Shegun coming back together. Is it mutual? I don't want to share my opinion on this. But is it mutual? Could it be that Jenny already had written herself, she had given up on herself? Whatever. Well, these are my two scenarios. Jenny did not just become Shegun's mistress. She went ahead and now she has two children for Shegun. Well, but like I always say, whatever it is, whatever relationship you have not gotten yourself into, ensure that you do not brew toxicity under whatever guise. Do not brew toxicity. Yes. So that's my take on that. And When your relationship, whatever interaction, is becoming something else, you cannot help yourself. Please seek help. Seek help. Counseling, therapy, the kind of help you're seeking, they are the constructive ones, not the ones that will keep you under, not the ones that will let you lose your mental stability, your self worth, your self esteem. No, seek constructive help that will help you get out of whatever it is, whatever messed up relationship that you have found yourself. Yes, I promised I'll make it short. I hope I've been able to keep to my promise. Thank you very much for spending time with me. I appreciate you a great deal. Thank you. Bye.